Hey guys, this last week was my 1 year anniversary of hunting platinums, and I wanted to show my profile on PSNProfiles and just go through what I earned in the year. All in all, I got 64 platinum trophies in 1 year. When I started last year in November, I kind of planned to try and get 50 by the end of this year, and I kind of surpassed that quite comfortably. So here's a breakdown of my trophies. So 64 platinums from November 24th, 2021 to November 24th this year, 47 PS4 games, 11 PS5 games, 2 PS3 games, and 4 PS Vita games. My first platinum was Far Cry 6 on the PS4, my 10th platinum was Far Cry 5, and my 50th platinum was Batman Arkham Knight. I averaged 5.3 platinums per month. I do have a rule where I try to get a minimum of 1 platinum each month, which I have kept up so far for the past 12 months. The most platinums I ever got in a month was 12, and the most platinums I ever got in a week was 5. In terms of franchises or game series that have given me the most platinums, I have 6 from the Far Cry series and I have 5 from Uncharted. So let's jump on PSNProfiles and go through all 64 trophies I've earned in the last 12 months. Alright guys, we're on to my PSN profile. So as you can see, JH Dark Knight has to be best superhero of all time. So my overall level is 349. I've got 3,297 trophies, 66 platinums, 335 golds, 710 silvers, and 2,186 bronzes. So my completion rate isn't great, but I've had this profile since I think 2010, 2011, and my nephew when he was younger used to like play games on my profile and just download like 10 games in a day and play each one for like 10 minutes. So I'm not too fussed about that. Plus I've got a lot of football games like FIFA and Pro Evo that I've played over decades and I'm just not gonna finish, so I'm not too fussed about that. November 24th and this hobby began. So I was playing Far Cry 6, which I really like by the way, and I always thought platinum trophies were for like super professional gamers. Like I thought that to get the platinum trophy you had to always complete a game on the hardest difficulty, get like 500 headshots, play the game without dying, etc, etc. And I never really just looked into it. And Far Cry 6, I was playing it quite in depth, and I'd had a lot of trophies, and I was coming up to finishing it, and I was on like 86%, and I knew I still had 2 like more gold trophies to get. I thought I'll be in my 90s here now. So I started looking into it and realized I've got just a few small bronzes to get, like catch 20 fish, kill someone from like 50 meters above them. And I was like, okay, so got this platinum, absolutely loved it. Then started looking at my games and looked at what games I was close to completing, and I had Hitman on like 98%. And if you've played this game, you'll know where I'm going with this. So I found the 1 or 2 trophies I had to do, finished them, the trophy popped, and I just sat there with this goofy grin on my face, waiting for the platinum to pop, and it didn't come. So I went to the trophy list of it, saw it said 100%. I was like, oh no, something's gone wrong, it's out of sync or something. Looked at the trophy list and realized that there's no platinum for Hitman. So hey ho. And then carried on, and Hitman 3 I'd left at like 86%. I was like, okay, that has a platinum trophy, so I can do that. So did that, I think within 4 days. So suddenly I had 2 platinums, and it just began. I started looking for games that are easy to platinum per se. But at this point, I don't know about like how much of a big hobby it was and worldwide, and how much people loved it. And I didn't know about the kind of the easy cheap platinums, you know, the My Name is Mayos and stuff like that. And thank goodness, because I could have gone down a dark rabbit hole. So went on to Days Gone. Underrated game. I don't know why this game gets so much hate. Like, this is a good game. I really enjoyed it. Kind of wish I could just start from scratch and platinum it again. I really like this game. And then kind of Far Cry is a bit of a theme with my platinums. So did Far Cry Primal, which was a bit of a chore. I didn't really like it. It's Far Cry without guns. It's done very well. I won't lie. Like the whole setting, the world was done very well, but wasn't a big fan. And then I did The Order, which I think I did in a day or day and a half. Really good looking game, very short, but it's a good game. I tried Dying Light. I just could not get into this. It's one of those annoying games where you pop like a couple of bronzes immediately and then it'll forever be here. But just not my type of game. Did Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, very interesting game. They encourage you to play it with headphones. I tried that. It was too intense. Took the headphones off. This is a game you can do in one day. Took me a lot longer because I missed one collectible and I had to play half the game again. But really good game. Far Cry New Dawn. So actually, sorry. So 2021, I finished with 6 platinums. And then started this year. Did Far Cry New Dawn. Really enjoyed that. Really liked it. It's a sequel to Far Cry 5, and yeah, really enjoyed that one. Then two games I couldn't get into. Borderlands 3, it's a shame. I really wanted to like that game, but just couldn't get into it. Horizon I started, and I don't know why I stopped, but yeah, maybe that's one I go back to, because I think I have it on PS Plus, but yeah, I just couldn't, I don't know, it didn't click at the time. Then I played Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which wasn't a game I was trying to platinum. I just wanted to play it. I saw I looked at the trophy list and I was like, oh, I don't know, some of these seem a bit tricky. I might not get this, but as I kept playing through, I kind of got closer to it, and yeah, just went for it and got it. Last of Us Part 2, I think a platinum everyone should have. Quite a straightforward platinum. It just means you have to get all of the collectibles, which is quite a bit, and you have to play, I think, around half the game because you have to upgrade everything as much as you can. So yeah, really good game. I look forward to playing that again one day. And then my 10th platinum, which is a game I absolutely love. I think it's totally slept on, very underrated, which is Far Cry 5. The story is really cool. The villain is very charismatic and interesting. The gameplay is so much fun. I think it's come to be my favorite Far Cry. Really big fan. Call of Duty Modern 4, quite an easy Call of Duty platinum, probably the easiest that I know of. Did it in, as you can see, a day and 4 hours. Very straightforward. And then I had my first entry into the Telltale games. I'm a big Batman fan, as you know, and I kind of just wanted to try this just to enjoy the story. I like this game a lot. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story. Rage 2, very good game, very fun. Kind of crazy open world first person shooter, lots of fun. Tried Wolfenstein, wasn't for me. Might again go back. Ratchet and Clank's a classic. You want to do that. Then we kind of enter a few kind of like indie slash easy kind of platinums because I was running out of normal or AAA games to platinum that I didn't know I could platinum or not. So then we got Shady Part of Me, which is a good game. Interesting little indie game. Got Spyro, got the whole trilogy here. Love this game. Honestly, Spyro trilogy is a platinum hunter's dream. If you finish a long grindy game and you're just a bit burnt out, just play this. It's colorful. You collect gems. You just jump on people and burn them. It's fun. It's easy. It's like, yeah, takes you back to your childhood. Inked was a cool game, very artistic, enjoyed that. It Takes Two is a classic. I've just made a video on that about a week ago. That is a good game. I ended up platinum that twice, as you'll see later on. Last Campfire, nice little platforming indie game. Adam's Venture Origins. This is a really low budget, cheap Uncharted ripoff. But I did it. And I'm kind of glad I did it. It's got 10 goals. Like, you know, I love games with loads of gold trophies. Because AAAs tend to have like 2 or 3. So I do love a game with a lot of goals. Terminator Resistance. This game should have been a lot better than it was. It's an easy platinum. 1 day, 2 hours. You can bang this out in 2 days. Really wish this was better than it was. It had the scope to be, but yeah. Spyro 2. A Way Out. Again, from the makers of It Takes Two. Really good game. Very, very quick platinum. And one of those strange platinums where you get the platinum like well before you finish the game. I think me and my girlfriend did it in 2 evenings. Like, it's a short game. Wolf Among Us, this was a bit of a drag. This is where I started to get off Telltale games. I kind of looked at them as easy platinums to do in between the bigger games, but yeah, I didn't like it. And then this is, I think, one of my cheapest, dirtiest platinums on my list. I don't have many. I saw it on for sale on the PlayStation Store. I kind of looked it up. It looked like a Space Raider type game. And I was like, okay, it's kind of a game. Like, you've got to put some skill into it, and hopefully it's a challenge. Played it, but it's yeah, I didn't. You don't even need to finish it. You can platinum it within the first two levels, but it is what it is. And then obviously, probably the most popular platinum ever, Spider-Man. I had to do that one. Blair Witch, interesting game. Yeah, it's not bad. Interesting, straightforward platinum. Far Cry 4, this was a game that I played last year, but then I went back to clean it up. Luckily, the multiplayer was still quite popular and busy, so that was kind of good. Spyro 3, finished the trilogy. Went back and played Far Cry 3 for the first time. I played all the Far Cries in a random order, which is fine because they stand alone. Sea of Solitude is a good little indie platformer type game, really good. Then I did the second Telltale, Batman Telltale game, The Enemy Within. I didn't enjoy this as much as the first one, and this was like the end. Like, I'm not going to play a Telltale after this unless it's a story or character I really love. Like, I'd do another Batman one, but yeah. Kona's quite cool. Kona is a first person narrative exploration kind of game, a bit like Blair Witch. There are weapons in it and stuff, but you don't really need them that much. It's cool. It's a cool story. It's narrated by someone else who's not part of the story, and it's just got a cool vibe to it. Definitely recommend it. And then on to my debut PS5 Platinum, Astro's Playroom. Playing this was so sweet. I remember setting up my PS5, which I got like a year and a half, nearly 2 years later. Then it came out, and this game was just so like perfect. Honestly, such a good game. Really good game. Really enjoyed the platinum. And then I remember I really wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima badly, but I made this rule. I think in like 2020, where I was like, I'm only gonna play Ghost of Tsushima on my PS5. I want it to be looking the best it can be, the gameplay the best it can be. And I waited, and there were many times of the last like year where I was like, oh, I could get this game, I really want to play it, but I waited, and I'm glad I did. I love this game. This game is so good, and a straightforward platinum, bit grindy but very straightforward. Control, oh, I couldn't get into this, like could not get into this, but I've downloaded it again. I might try. I see a lot of you gamers out there play it and get the platinum, but yeah, I think I should try it again. Got Last of Us Remastered. That's just pathetic. 7%. That wasn't one I tried to platinum. It was just I played through the game, so it's there. I think that must have been some multiplayer trophies I got, which is why it's high on the list. And then we entered like this little Uncharted phase where it took till 2022 for me to play an Uncharted game. I played number one, and I was like, this is banging. This is awesome. So I went straight, played number two. And then went straight on to number three. Love them, love these games. Little Nightmares 2. I mentioned that in a video before. Little Nightmares 2 and Concrete Genie I mentioned in a video before. They're kind of nice little indie games to platinum. Games you can do in one day as well. So good one day platinums. Deathloop, yeah, I might go back to that. I just really did not get into it. Did not get into it at all. Titanfall 2. I've played halfway through the story. I've made a rule. I'm not progressing in this game until I get the Gauntlet trophy. If you know, you know. There's no point. There's no point me finishing this game and then I could get stuck on that same trophy. I have to overcome that. Overcooked 2 is just a game that I play with my girlfriend now and again. I hope that maybe in 10 years we eventually chip away and get the platinum on it. And then start to complete the Uncharted games. Uncharted 4, Thief's End, absolute masterpiece, absolute banging game. Like, you have to play this. It looks so good, it plays so good, and also really quite challenging. I'd say at this point in my trophy hunting life, this was my hardest platinum because there's some chapters near the end, Like I think chapter 20, Ship's Graveyard, is relentless on crushing difficulty. My first Vita Platinum, Uncharted Golden Abyss. This is a really good game. Like, this is worth getting a Vita for. It's a fully fledged Uncharted game in your hands. Like, there's no sacrifices, no limitations. It's a proper Uncharted game on the Vita. It's so good. Lots of RNG, which was a grind in the end. That kind of took me a long time to finally finish. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Not as good as the first one that I played, but good game. Looked really good on the PS5. Arkham Asylum, got to get back to that. Got to get back to that one. The challenges at the end worry me, but got to do it. Resistance Burning Skies on the Vita. Very fun, very straightforward platinum. I think one multiplayer online trophy which you can boost online. Chernobyl, I know a lot of people like this game. It was okay. It was okay, but a straightforward platinum. Shadow Warrior 3 that came up free on the PS Plus. Love that. Very fun. And then I realized that if I bought a game on PS4, I could also download the PS5 copy. So then finally 2 plus 2 clicked in my head and I was like, I could play Far Cry 6 again and get the platinum. And I like it so much that I did. So, and also it was my first platinum, so I thought it was kind of sweet. So Far Cry 6 shows up. And then finishing Uncharted series with Lost Legacy, really good game. Very fun. And then onto the Vita, Lego Batman 2. You know, I was like, I can't get some of these Arkham Platinums, so I might as well try and get some other Batman games. And then on to my 50th Platinum and one of my all-time favorite games. I think probably the best superhero game I've ever played. Probably the best superhero game that's out there. Batman Arkham Knight. I love this game and I'm so happy that I got platinum in it. I think it's possibly my most proudest platinum. Yeah, what more can I say? Love it. Crisis, yeah, straightforward. Doom, this was fun. This was a good, I think, reboot. This was really, really good. Really enjoyed this. Virginia was a charming little first-person kind of narrative tale. Didn't take me that long, as you can see, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Enjoyed the story. Stray, I think Stray is like one of the most popular platinums of the year so far. In fact, probably, yeah, it's up there because it's quite straightforward. Very fun game. Very good looking game as well. Really looks good. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. This is a good game to platinum. Doesn't take long. Yeah, really good game. Good combination of like combat and open world and also strategy. Like the whole Nemesis system, couldn't say that word, is really good, where you kind of get into the politics and stuff of the army you're fighting. Then this is my only... I'm not a big fan of auto pop platinums. I just think it's a bit... I don't know. I think having a platinum list, you should have played that game. Even if it's the same game twice, like I did with Far Cry 6. I just think auto pop's a bit, I don't know, maybe a bit cheap. So again, with Far Cry, I realized I can actually download Hitman 3 on PS5 and just play it through and get another platinum. And Hitman 3 is quite straightforward. I thought I can do this in a week or so, and I really enjoy it. Got it, downloaded it, loaded it up. All these trophies start popping. And I'm like, oh, this is the auto pop. Go to my trophy list, and it's like on 84%. And I was a bit like, okay. And it was very random, the trophies they left out. There's like one from each level, very random ones. And I just thought, okay, I'll go back and get those. And then about 2 days later, I think I loaded it again and it just popped. And I was like, okay. So, a bit of a cheap platinum there, to be honest. Red Dead 2. Red Dead 2 is like my Moby Dick. It's like, if you like football, it's like the Champions League platinum, the World Cup platinum. This is the platinum that I really want. I've invested so much time into it. I've got all of the multiplayer trophies done. That was a grind. And now I'm just working on 100% the gold trophies. And I think the thing that stops me or puts me off a little bit is I missed the trophy where you have to get you have to give a companion a certain item in all of the camps. So my save file's at the end of the game. So now I'm going to have to restart a brand new game and play through probably like 60% of the game just to give my friends these things in the camps. So, but that's the one. I really, really, really want the platinum in Red Dead 2 and Red Dead 1, as you'll see, is coming up in a second. Kronos is like I think I got it on PS Plus, and it's like one of these Souls-like games, and I'm trying to get into the From Software games, but I'm just shook. I'm just scared because I know how hard they are, and I know I'm going to be crap at them. So I thought this would be good practice, and this is a platinum that requires, I think, 2 playthroughs, but one of them you can only like die 3 times, and I think I'm close to dying. I'm on my 3rd one, so now I have to go like half the game without dying. So I think I realized this is going to take 3 playthroughs, so I just paused it. Last of Us Part 1 remake, much easier platinum than how it originally was, no multiplayer. Absolute masterpiece of a game, regardless of which version you play. But this is a straightforward platinum. Definitely, if you play this game, you should definitely go for the platinum. Very, very straightforward, very fun to do. Deliver Us the Moon. This is an awesome game. Did it in a day. Really enjoyed it. Really liked it. Lego Lord of the Rings. This was epic. These Lego games are quite good. They're quite charming. Like I started it up, and it's got all the dialogue and audio from the films, and it does a good job of mixing in the trilogy into one game. And it's actually, honestly, it's really fun. And then on to, I think this is my 60th platinum, and one thing I really want to do is try and get a platinum from all the series that I love, or all the kind of the biggest series and games. And one that I had to get is probably my favorite series of all time, Metal Gear Solid. And I obviously went for the easiest platinum, I guess, in the franchise. And one of my favorite games made a big impact on me when I played it when it came out. So Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Took me 3 playthroughs because I missed the odd collectible, so that was annoying. You can do this in 1 playthrough, but masterpiece. Red Dead Redemption 1. I picked this up actually physically on PS3 again quite recently, and I found there was a group that were boosting the multiplayer trophies, so I thought, okay, I'll make a start on that. And I just need to go back to it. I have to get to level 50 on online, which I just did on Red Dead 2 not long ago, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to do this again, but that is one that I will come back to, definitely. Resistance 3 on the PS3, quite a tricky little first-person shooter. You have to play on the hardest difficulty on a second playthrough. Fun game, really good game. Kind of missed it at the time when it came out, but really enjoyed that. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I couldn't click with this game. I don't know, couldn't click with this game. This is a sad one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Enjoyed it, finished the campaign of Veteran, but if you've played the game and you know there's that trophy where you have to get through the training bit really quickly, and I was just doing it again and again and again and again for hours. It was giving me vibes of like Titanfall 2, and it reached a point where I was like, I'm not having any fun whatsoever. This feels like boring hard work, like work. And it's just kind of taking up my gaming time, and I'm not having fun. So I stopped it. Maybe I'll go back to it, maybe not. Sometimes you just got to take an L, got to take a loss. And then Gotham Knights, if you look at my channel, I made a video on this recently, reviewed the game, reviewed the platinum, a straightforward platinum. The more I look back on this game, I think the more I'm disappointed, really. I think it just could have been a lot better than it was. But it's worth playing, especially if you're a fan of Batman like I am. It's definitely, you got to play it. And it's a straightforward platinum. Then It Takes Two, did that again with my girlfriend. I enjoyed it even more on the second run. Definitely enjoyed it more on the second run, even more, because I knew more about what I was doing and stuff. So I made a video on that as well, I think last week. It's definitely a game you got to play with someone. It's amazing. Then my first ever Resident Evil Platinum. So happy to get this. My first ever Resident Evil game, which I did a review a couple of days ago. Very good game. Very fun Platinum. Very fun. Nice balance of challenging. Collectibles, not too many. There's a couple of playthroughs, but it's not a bad thing, because the playthrough on the hardest difficulty, Madhouse, is like kind of like a new game. It's a brand new challenge. Really liked this game. Really liked it. So yeah, those are the trophies that I got in my first year of platinum trophy hunting. Got 64 trophies all in all, which is quite a good haul, I would say. I've made a lot of videos on kind of like tips for beginner trophy hunters, which I'm going to leave in the description below, and also kind of easy AAA games to platinum. So thank you for watching. I'm now aiming for by the end of the year to get up to 70 platinums, which I should do because I only need, I think, 4 more to reach that target. And then next year, I want to get to 100 platinums. That is definitely the target. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. And if you've got any questions about trophy hunting or getting into it or platinums, please ask a question in the comments below and I will get back to you. Thank you and take care.